All right, we'll try this again for the umpteenth time. LP with S&W Service and Repair. And tonight I am testing out streaming, trying to figure out if I can actually get content to you guys in a more efficient way, a little bit quicker, uh, faster. I've tried this thing 3 or 4 times and it has stopped and just done all kind of crazy stuff. So hopefully I'm good here. So it says my stream is healthy, and I'll just try and kick it off again from here. All right. So I had a conversation with one of my buddies about the trades. He's a master plumber, and he doesn't like to work as a plumber. So he has a full time job like I do. Actually, we work at the same place. But his problem is his father was a master plumber, and he's a master plumber because his father was a master plumber. He just said he doesn't have what it takes to actually uh, manage people. So, with that being said, I've tried and tried to talk to him and to get him to get into the trades to no avail. But anyway, I've been seeing a lot of information on the Wall Street Journal and just on podcasts in general about us needing trades, us as America needing more people in the trades. So, I kind of started down the rabbit hole, did a little bit of research, and was looking to see, far as welders, plumbers, HVAC, electricians, which trade would be the quickest and not the easiest, but the fastest to get into. So as I was doing that deep dive, just going through the information, reading, I stumbled across a podcast of this plumber. He's a master plumber. He's been plumbing, 20, 30 years. And anyway, he owns the company. So as I'm watching the podcast, uh, he started saying things that I never ever even considered about, plumbing. Like there are many ways to get into plumbing and many different areas of plumbing that you could actually be doing. And, I never ever thought about that. I never once thought that, when I thought of a plumber, I thought of a plumber and that was it. Just like I think of an electrician, I think of an electrician, he's just wiring things. But there are lots of different ways and areas of the trades that you can be a part of. And, him going through residential, commercial, then new, as far as the new builds, doing residential repair. And he said several other things, but I'm not very familiar with the terminology and the different areas of plumbing, so I don't recall all of them off the top of my head. But that got me to thinking about appliance repair. And there are several different ways to get into appliance repair. I've done a few of them. And there are some people who, specialize in certain areas of appliance repair. And there are certain people who are just generalists who do all type of things in appliance repair. But as a lot of you guys who might come to my channel, you might be kind of new to the appliance repair field. And with that being said, there are lots of different areas of appliance repair that you can get off into and, make a good living for yourself. So, you know, let's see. All right. So, myself, I did dry vent cleaners when I first started out. I don't do them anymore. I hadn't done dry vent cleaners in probably 2 years. But I have seen people doing dry vent cleaners, and that's no knock. When I got into the game, I was kind of green and I didn't know a lot. And, I took the information that I had received and I did with it, you know, I did some remixing to it. That's the truth. I should have stuck with the plan, but I did a little remixing. So, at any rate, I've touched a couple facets, and today, as I had, finished the deep dive, Was going, where was I going? I think I was going to Walmart gas station to get some gas. Anyway, as I watched the plumber and kind of did the deep dive, then I started doing a deep dive into appliance repair, and I saw drive-in cleaning. I watched several drive-in cleaning videos, and I was like, man, I used to do that. And one guy was saying he was charging $175 for his drive-in cleaning, and it took him 35, 40 minutes. And I was like, yeah, but I wasn't charging that. I was charging $79 at the time. So I was like, you know what? I could double back and raise my rates, and then it might be a little bit better, better for me, or I might feel a little bit better about um, actually doing drive-in cleanings. You get to $200 an hour. That's all right. But anyway, so yeah, I saw a whole van. That's all it said was drive-in cleaning, and that's all they did. And it was a drive-in cleaning company. A lot of times you'll have companies who clean vents. Well, they do the AC vents, and then they will tack on the drive-in cleanings, which is cool. But this company was specifically doing dry vent cleanings, had a whole wrap van, phone number, everything. And I was like, dang, that's pretty cool. I I never ever had thought about that as being a solo uh, career or a solo standalone thing within the appliance repair industry. And with that said, that opened my eyes. There are several different facets and ways that you can get into the appliance repair industry. You know, drive-in cleaning is one that's an easy, low cost. You can pick up all the stuff that you need off of Amazon or Home Depot, and you can get started, basically this weekend doing drive-in cleaning. You would have to, ask neighbors or post up on the Facebook marketplace to get your first initial customers, but you could actually get started this weekend. And I do a lot of dishwashers. There are some people who do nothing but refrigeration and seal systems. There are people who do nothing but installs. We do quite a few double oven installs because a lot of people don't want to touch it. A lot of people don't want to have to deal with electricity, which I don't have a problem, dealing with electricity. So there are lots of facets and ways to get off into the appliance repair industry if you see fit. But that really got me to thinking today. And with a lot of guys that come to this channel, they want to know the information. They want to figure out how to get into something that's kind of low cost. And I think that around this time right now, when we're going into bake season, the temperature is changing. Uh, the uh, the time of the year that the type of clothes that are going to be washed are going to be washed and dried are going to be different. So I think that this would be a good time if you haven't uh, jumped all the way into appliance repair, that getting into appliance repair and maybe getting your feet wet with drive-in cleaning would be a great way for you to actually start out. I teach everybody to keep their job and start appliance repair on a small scale, not try to go, quit your job and go full into it. But if you see fit, go for it. That's not how I teach everybody. That's not what I tell people. But everybody has their own mentality. Some people might have jobs that they don't care for, and they just are looking for a career to jump into full throttle. Appliance repair would be one of the last fields that you could get in without having to be pretty well a journeyman and go through the apprentice stage to get to that journeyman, then get your credentials to actually be a master in the field, and then own your own business. You can start out owning your own business. Some people want to go the way of, working for a company first, getting their feet wet like that, and then starting their business. And I don't see anything wrong with that if that's what you want to do. I didn't start like that. I don't. I don't. I guess I would say I could recommend that for someone if you absolutely have no idea about appliance repair and you might not be very mechanically inclined, then that will probably be a great way for you to get your feet wet and to see if this is something that you even want to do. Because a lot of times, we'll jump in and we'll say, oh, yeah, this is going to be my new career. This is going to be what I'm going to do. And not knowing everything that it entails and not knowing if you are good with customers, not knowing if you can handle the stress of someone watching you while you're trying to figure out, what's actually wrong with the appliance and troubleshooting. So, I can safely say I think that might be a good way for some people to start. It wasn't what I used to recommend, but as I look at things now, a lot of people, just as I've done YouTube for a little bit, I have come to realize that everybody, they don't have the same amount of confidence, and they don't have the same amount of get up and what do I say, self motivation to actually push themselves and just keep going. When times might be a little shaky. So I think that working for someone, if you need that and you need that extra push and you need that extra confidence, I don't think that's a bad thing. I think you can learn a lot, you can get a lot of guidance, and you can make mistakes on their dime versus on the dime of yourself, basically. So yeah, when I saw that, I was like, interesting. It was something that I had never ever actually thought of myself. All these different lanes of plumbing, and I'm sure there are different lanes of HVAC, different lanes of electrician, and being in those skilled trade. And now, welding. I'm sure there are like underwater welding, then there are just welders who do just about anything, or welders who are out on the oil rigs. And I'm sure once you start deep diving into it, there are just so many areas and so many branches of the trades that all of us could go off into. Uh, there's a commercial. You can get into the commercial side of appliance repair. That right there, that's not for me. I've done some commercial appliance repair, and when somebody's actually working and they are looking at you right then for you to fix that appliance, or I forget the name of it. It has all the cold condiments. It's like a cold table, and they might have one that's working and the other one went out, so they kind of combine everything, and you're in there trying to work it out and help them out. You're not helping but fix the appliance. I don't like that because I don't like being on the nasty sticky floors of restaurants and whatnot. So that that's an aspect of appliance repair. I think what Mike Reed, Mike Reed, I think teaches that. If you guys are interested, go check out his YouTube channel. And but yeah, guys, I was testing out this stream, just seeing if it was something that may be plausible for me to actually start doing, and putting out information to get to you guys a little bit quicker, giving you guys my thoughts on the appliance repair field, and just trying to be more consistent with dropping content. If you come to this stream, please tell me how the audio sounds, how the video looks. Drop it in the comments because, like I said, this is my first time actually live streaming, and I don't know if this looks good or if it doesn't look good. So I guess after it renders, I'll go back and check it out. But all right, guys, have a great night. LP with S&W Service and Repair signing off.